benevolent force in my house today, and it shows me the video Deadpool. Well, the actor sent me an invite, a friendship invite. He seemed really cool. He introduced himself, but I said, I have to delete you because you played the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. I want no part of this shenanigan. So I get back from the airport. I am physically being assaulted with this benevolent spirit. And it sends me all these pictures as a bat, and then it's playing this Deadpool song, Bye, Bye, Bye. And you know who these evil people are. And I'm not touching my computer, but see, they're bringing up these videos. It is, you know, the sad part is they knew I was a silent sufferer, and they said I was innocent a long time ago. So when they were killing my parents and putting in John Salt's books and using Bob's Offspring and Alex Asico, and the dark branch of government, when John Saw and this group took an interest in me with the Dark Knight, my first month in Cyberworld, I was being followed by Star Wars people. And the first time they tried to kill me, Lord Ethan Dominion at MySpace sent me a friend invite. And then they sent me, he posted a video. It says, Luke Skywalker, you defeated us. You wouldn't join the dark side. Now you must die. That night, strange men followed me to the Apple store because they wanted dialogue off my computer. I was talking to these anonymous people in some message. Well, they used characters I had like Lucius and different ones in Dark Knight. And they tried to kill me and get dialogue off the computer because they wanted to do the movie and they didn't want the dialogue saved. So they put the file vault was on. The Apple store got into the computer before the file vault was put on. And they were able to get on after they locked me out, and they could see all the data that they were trying to steal. Well, then all of a sudden in the store, it was hacked, and the people at the store said they never seen anything like it. And then they couldn't get in it. And they said someone had changed the password right there in the store. And you've seen these people follow me, Apple. You've seen how they cut their head like devil horns, like the new Luciferian haircut. Follow me, Illuminati everywhere, even Star Wars vehicles, cars with eye on them, and 666. In Las Vegas, they did this when I ran from here to try to get away. And they broke in numerous times. The last time we were there, they left a gun in the house. The person who broke in had forgotten, left it there. They traced that gun. They said it was a policeman's gun. I don't know why, but he had to have been working for the film people. Had to have been, I would imagine, because the one time it got broke into, Tava bretz was out there getting flying trapeze lessons and some kind of business meeting. That time she was the same instructor that had taught Libby Newton-John the day before, which is high up, like Illuminati. And so my phone, somebody keeps hacking my phone because they don't want me to tell you this information. You've seen Disney a part of this. Now, I'm not putting these pictures up there. You've seen Warner Brothers, but they're solid proof. I don't know how he got it, but George Clooney Soderbergh did use my work. It was stolen. John Saw at the same time put the characters Clooney didn't use in my story, The Godsend 2. They gave it Godsend title so that, you know, like if you do a remake of like Godsend 1, they think, oh, well, it was not stolen if you make it a part 2. No, it had nothing to do with 1. It was all my work. I even paid the doctor. And George Clooney used names like Sullivan and stuff that was in the Godsend script I did, but he and George somehow split it. And then the characters. And George says he doesn't know how it happened. He'd have to ask Jenny or somebody, his assistant, but it was Warner Brothers. I called Warner Brothers and said, how did you get this? In the legal department, I didn't know George Clooney's brother was on staff there, but this whole group wanted to start an all-gay Antichrist world because Ron Howard was the guest speaker. Then Tom Hanks asked me to work for him privately if I wouldn't be a writer, but it was mysterious, it was suspicious because he wanted me to come to Pennsylvania. He was contacting me, Tom Hanks, from 3 different official sites. And I said, no, I can't do this. This is strange. This is mysterious. But the place he wanted me to meet him was Pennsylvania, where my stepdaughter moved. He wanted me to meet him there. And I got contacted by somebody, FEMA. It was FEMA, a chaplain for FEMA. And all the people at his page had Star Wars names. Well, I met Terry Brooks, the first conference, who wrote the Star Wars trilogies, John Saul's best friend. The only person I pitched work to was Andy Cohen, and he and Andy both went to work at Disney. Then Disney starts putting me in animation. Then they try to make the Beast come after me, and they try to kill me. This is all true. And the evidence is there, but no one will put it out. Well, I stood up against them, okay? They murdered my mom. They murdered my dad. But when I went to the FBI in town, somebody came to the hospital. They came to Dad's when he was out taking his girlfriend somewhere. He would take these wine diners everywhere because he's a good guy. And after he retired from work, he wanted to help handicapped people. They broke his spine, and then they put it in Glorious Bastards. And all through the movie, because they did the bingo, they said, go bingo. My dad was a Vietnam medevac hero. So when I went to Bob wanted me to go to Kitty Hawk, I felt something bad was going to happen. So and we were in Virginia, I called the FBI there, since the FBI here wouldn't take the hard drive evidence. They said they were investigating Andy Cohen. When I took the video there, they said, Andy Cohen's already in investigation. I said, well, this is just hard drives to show this stuff's appearing in George Clooney movie, and that's my work. And they said, well, we're investigating that guy. And I found out later, Andy Cohen went on a tour of the FBI in some other city, not here, before to do the movie Untraceable that was based on what they were doing to me. Diane Lane's character, see the resemblance? They were playing that game, trying to play a game with me, putting cameras here and then watching me in my home, and that's what they did to her, and stalking her, and they even made her car shut down. They did that to my electrical car, just made it shut down. One time they removed the handles on my car in my own garage here. This is psycho, but they're all a part of it. And so it's all satanic. And because they just wanted my work so bad, they decided whenever I did not cave in, I did not join the dark side, then they said, we're just going to put you on a kill list. Let's marry her to the beast. Let's make her this. I said, no, I'm not going to be sacrificed, because they couldn't defeat the spirit in me and make me evil. And they said originally, I was beauty and innocence too powerful to resist. So all this torture was to try to make me evil. They did all this evil work on me. They said they were even using NASA to hack my brain and try to put the devil in me from space through some portal or Stargate. And after they did that to my father, they put all this stuff in John Saw's book before they did this. And they put my dad, Jerry McDowell, in the book. They put my parents' street address. Then they went to my dad's house. They said there was a portal there. Now they're trying to get my house. I'd be happy to leave this house, but that's not good enough for them. They said they want to sacrifice me, put me in the rocks on the land. They want to raise hell. This is really happening. So this Dark Knight thing, this Joker appeared in John Saw's book, The Perfect Nightmare, after John Saw started putting me in stories. He takes the people to the playroom. Then he appeared in the Batman movie, Dark Knight. I have no affiliation with them. They're just stalkers. But after they did that with my father, and they did all that, and then they murdered my mom before him, and John Saw sent me a sympathy card with the deer hunter sticker on it. Can you imagine murdering my mom? And now I did a cloning story because I was so grief-stricken that I went to a cloning doctor with vials of blood to say, can you please clone my mom? Because because there's a lot of reasons. She was too young to die. She never got the good things she deserved in life. She worked hard. She was a workaholic. And this evil group, they eat children, but they stalked me all these years. They've already handicapped me and Bob. Destroyed my bone density the first year when they sent Tava here on false pretenses, and she was supposed to meet with the pilot that booked Sasha Grey, which works with George Clooney and Soderbergh. And so then Bob, they made him have to have eye operations. They made me partially blind now. They made me pee blood for 4 years. They said Bob's offspring were doing it with their military friends, and Alex Asico, who worked in the White House, who lived on my husband's street when I met him, where Bob's ex-wife stayed. They were best friends. They've lived in 4 cities together. They've traveled out of the country together. Justin Bretz was best man in Kyle DeSico's wedding, and Kyle DeSico was best man in Justin's wedding. And Chris Bretz is a part of this too. And to John Saw, if you listen to his videotapes from the conference, you will see he gloats about murder. Whether it's fake or not, I don't know, but he's always gloating about just bumping people off. And then on the cruise, he bragged that Michael loved so much when the teenage girls, not women, they worked in mental hospitals, committed mass suicide and slit their wrists. And John Saw said in front of a whole audience, Michael was so thrilled, his partner, Michael Sack, by the thrill of the blood. And all these girls commit suicide. We had to put it in a book so he could relive the sensation again and again. I believe they're serial killers. But when I got Park Dietz to probe John Saw, and I had another psychiatrist that was flying on the plane with me going to the conference this year. She thought he could be a serial killer. I asked them both, can he be a serial killer? She said he's a sociopath, but she owned her own her own clinic. But that was what she said. And so maybe they didn't like being investigated. And I started having to connect the dots. I had to show the whole cult involved because they wouldn't leave me alone. Now, this has been 25 years, and this person says, I'll never let you have a day without torture. And they say Alex Desico's working with him. And you know what? They haven't. They haven't. And now they want to kill me because they know damn good and well they haven't completely made me cuckoo, and they haven't made me lose my virtue. And I love God. So I am so sick today with whatever they're using. Police have come and said it's carbon monoxide poison. Other people have come and said they're using energy. They're sending people. They moved electricians around me. They moved these killers around me through Sarah Dyer and Alex Desico that have killed 5 family members, murdered cats, and my favorite dog, Twinkle shines the galaxy. And they're around me, and they're trying to murder me, and they're just trying to make me right, mostly, because all those years, the times they kept me terrified was when they were getting the best writing material. So you know this is the Antichrist, the work of the Antichrist. But if you went to privately, help me by putting the pictures out, what they did out around the world, then everyone will see the truth. No one's protecting me here.